Yeah, today I was thinking you might see more videos like this too, like how last week I think I had one and I showed you me cracking eggs and stuff. Like you didn't see the actual food and me cooking it, but I was talking to you while I was doing stuff. Well, I'm going ahead and deciding to talk into the camera while I'm washing a few dishes. So basically, I wanted to share with you that, and also I'm trying to not be so self-conscious about how much content I put up, which I kind of go through phases. Having the schedule that I've been having of like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, doing whatever book I'm particularly sharing with the viewer, and then like having a daily meditation that I'm reading from not every morning, but just depending on what time of day it is. Usually it is the morning. That's every day usually. That now, if you go back a few months, there's been times that I've went days without sharing a meditation, but that's just because of where I was at in my head or where something else was going on. And but also I wasn't being as diligent, and I wasn't being as focused. But actually, I want to use the word hard on myself as I should be, because look, all I know is that these little shorts that I've been following of that dude named David Goggins. I don't know, and it turns out I'm learning a little more about him and where, his story, and that he had ended up in the Air Force, I think, or something, and then he ended up not flung out of being a paratrooper or something. I don't know what the hell it was. To ended up being around 300 pounds at some point. He was still in the military, I think, but he definitely wasn't where he thought he'd be. And then observed something. I don't know, he got to knowing some history about certain war heroes and certain Marines, certain Navy SEALs and things like that. And then he proceeded to decided he wanted to become a Navy SEAL. And this is when he was at 300 pounds. I watched a little thing the other day, and it was encouraging to me because he ended up going and somebody, he was pretty much told, he was pretty much kind of like it was a no-go. Like, as soon as people, because on the phone he was saying, as soon as they found out how big he was or any of that, it was kind of like, hey, But so he finally had a recruit, somebody say, well, come in. They didn't ask how old he was, or they didn't ask his weight or no other kind of stuff. They just said, just come in, we'll talk. And it was a pretty cool speech. He was giving that speech and sharing it about, I think it was when they were giving him the Medal of Honor. I don't know when that was or anything about that. All I know is in the videos I watch of him while he's running, while he's striving ahead, but he's trying to be a cheerleader for the people that do want to do better in their life, and he's trying to cheer you on, trying to tell you don't back down, trying to tell you you got this, you can do this. He's telling you in every video, man, or at least he's speaking to me, I can tell you that much. And it's encouraging me, to get away from procrastination, to push myself as hard as I can, to stop this crap of, oh, I hurt, or oh, I'm down and I'm out, or I'm low on energy. Bullshit. I'll call that on myself. That's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking for no freaking body else, but I'm going to call that, and I ain't going to retract that word there. I'm not going to apologize for that particular cuss word. I am going to say bullshit to me. Because I realize it. Now, there are some days I do have low energy. I have physical problems. Yes, I have a bunch of different physical problems. But the fact that I can still breathe, I can still move, I can still do stuff. And, I do have the sense enough to know when I'm doing too much, and I have the sense enough when I'm doing too little. And more often than not, I'm doing way too little. So that's why you're seeing me share I'm sharing a little more through the day. Like some of them are random, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get down to is hopefully, well, actually, you know, having the order that I'm working on, like I said, Mondays and Wednesdays and Friday for like a definite book I'm reading, making Mondays and Wednesdays a definite, and a Friday if the weeks went well. That's kind of helping me get in a groove. And then, but this week's, you know, starting with Tuesday, and then of course, yesterday doing the first official, like, hey, it's Tuesday, and I'm going to have at least one video up today about a comic book or a toy or something cool that's, like, fun and interesting to me, like, that takes me outside of myself and that I can connect to other people on a different level even. Just getting that started. Now, we're going to see how it goes, but that's going to create a pattern for me that hopefully in the not so far distant future, I'll have it down a little better. And then that's also going to allow me, because if I know on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I know what days I'm dedicated, like a definite dedicate, like that, I know what kind of videos I'm going to put up that day. So I've got enough time in between doing a reading video and here and there and that and that and that to be thinking about, hey, what am I doing on Tuesday? This coming Tuesday, I have no clue yet. What am I going to do for a toy or a comic book video? Next Thursday, I have no clue yet. But I can put some thought into it, and hopefully over the weekend I can think or have something to do. If I don't and I wake up Tuesday, I at least know what Tuesday is, and I will get my butt to doing something. This is, I guess, because I'm finding some real positive vibes from watching that guy jog and scream into the camera and tell you you can do whatever the hell it is you want to do. You just got to do it. Because that's kind of like what God has told me all my life, that Spirit, whatever you want to say, I ain't trying to paint no picture of what you got. I'm not telling you how to think about it. I'm just telling you what I know that has guided me and told me and shown me, gave me a vision 20-something years ago where I could be, and I think I've been mentioning it. And here I go. I kind of sound like a preacher, but you know, at one time I thought I was called to be a preacher, and I was called. I was called to do something. Not preach to damn nobody. I ain't here to tell you how to do stuff. I ain't here to tell you what to do. I ain't here to try to lord over you and make you, you know, and I'm not saying that being a preacher is a bad thing, but there is a lot of people, not just preachers, but a lot of people in authority, especially in spiritual teachings and all sorts of cultures, that will use that as a leverage if they can. I'm here to share my experiences with the divine. I'm here to share my experiences with what God is and what it shares with me and what it tells me to do. But when it tells me not to share, because there are certain things I'm learning also discernment. Like if there's some kind of message or some kind of thing shown to me and it says, keep this to yourself for a while. I want you to dwell on it. I want you to think about it before you ever share this or think about talking to anybody with it. And then there's some stuff that I just can't tell nobody. That's just between me and it, the power that be, my boss, you know. So that's one thing that I am glad I'm learning a little better, because in my early 20s, when it first all started coming and these things were rushing in, good Lord, I wanted to tell everybody. And, of course, I was hardcore still into drugs and everything. And even all my drug friends were like, man, he's done too many drugs, you know. Like, wants to talk about God all the time. Wants to tell everybody about this and that and how real that is and what did, you know. Ain't nobody want to hear it. And anybody that did possibly want to hear you share it that wasn't in some drug culture or whatever, they wouldn't want to hear it if you're fucking crazed out and drugged out. And there I go. But, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to, because the reason I'm doing this is because I was going to do a walking video today, to video and walk. But I've walked Ladybird twice already. I might have to walk her a third time because she only pooped once today so far. And the interesting fact about Ladybird is she absolutely does not want to poop in my yard or in our yard unless she just has to. Like if she's on the cable, and like if I'm not feeling good and I couldn't get her a walk in that day, then she just, at some point, she's got to go, she's got to go. And she just has to crap in the yard. But I tell you, that dog will wait. You know, and then like she's got a certain way of letting me know too that, hey, I either need outside or you need to take me for a walk. Because there's been times I've let her out, she come back in, and I can like a little while later, she'll kind of do a little whimper. And that lets me know, no, she's got to poop, and she still didn't poop in the yard. If I'm feeling, but I'm doing really a lot better at just being aware that, hey, if I'm laying in there and I ain't got up yet, and I'm thinking I'm low on energy and all that, heck, if I didn't have but 2 or 3 hours sleep, and I'm laying in the bed, and I've been up since 7 o'clock, but it's 9 o'clock, and I'm still laying in the bed, maybe I've been up a couple of times, gotten up, made a video, uploaded it, let the dog out maybe, but I still haven't got up and actually done what I need to do, like make some coffee if I'm going to drink coffee, or make some tea, or, you know, if I haven't walked the dog, you know, if all I've done is let her out and it's going on 9, 10 o'clock, I better get up, walk her. And there's 6 puppies I got to get up, and I got to get them out of that room. And I got to get that cleaned up until somebody gets these puppies. And I'm not going to stress over that. Like I could stress over it, but I think we got this on lockdown. I think everything's going to be okay. I know it will be. I don't just think it, I know it. And I'm going to tell you, whoever's watching this, whatever's going on in your life, it'll be okay. You just got to get a hold of it. It's not always easy. It ain't meant to be. But once you get on the other side of something, you can look back and be like, man. But it's about building that momentum and keeping the momentum. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's what I'm working on. And I want to kind of end it on the note that, like, you know, Yoda, there is no try, only do, or whatever. Like, you can talk about trying and say you're trying, but are you? Am I? Am I really putting forth effort? So, let's see how this experiment goes. I've been putting forth quite a bit of effort this week alone in my everyday life, in this channel's life, and just in my spiritual life, my everything. I'm doing more. And I'm overwhelmed with joy. It's a good feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. And I want to share that with you guys. I love you. Ditto. Mr. Cloud, you know who I am?